Alrighty folks, this is part 2 of the experiment with doing examples and no instruction, but this is meant to be kind of a side note to modeling fraction multiplication. I'm calling it the other examples. So I'm going to take a look at this example right here, 2/5 times 1/3, and I'm actually holding the camera, so if this looks a little shaky, I do apologize. But if we take a look at 2/5 times 1/3, we want to remember that we're looking at vertical shading and horizontal shading. So when I make my models, I want to consider 2/5 of my model being shaded in vertically, 1/3 of my model being shaded horizontally. And I'm going to use a couple different colors here to show that. I'm just going to use highlighters. That'll be a little bit easier to see. I'm going to use pink and green, so hopefully they're not too hard. I know this is green paper, but we'll see what we can do. So I'm going to use a one model method because doing a two model method might prove to be a little bit time consuming, and I'll focus more on the two model method in class for the folks who need it. So I'm going to draw my square, or what looks kind of like a square, and I'm looking at my vertical shading, and it says that I need 5 columns. So I'm going to draw 4 lines, and hopefully I can come up with some equal spacing between them. That looks pretty decent. And it's basically asking me for 2 of those to be shaded in. So I'm going to shade those. I'll shade 2 of them. I'll shade the first 2. The perfect coloring is not necessary for this, but adequate so that you can understand what's going on. 1/3 of this horizontally needs to be shaded. So I need to have 3 congruent rows. And by doing that, I can shade in one of them. I'm going to shade in this one. Why? Because I can. And if I take a look at what I've shaded in, I have my vertical shading, I have my horizontal shading, and I see some really dark color right here. That really dark color indicates the overlap, and I'm looking for the overlap. So if I see my overlap, I am going to count those. I have 2 overlapping, so I'm going to call that 2 over the total. The total looks like 5, 10, 15. My answer is 2/15. I can also check my work by checking it against the problem. What's 2 times 1? What's 5 times 3? And there's my answer. I'm going to do one more example, and I may do another one after that, but we are getting up there about 3 minutes, and I don't want to take too much of your precious time. Another model here, 1/4 times 1/4, and we've done things like this one before. Again, I'm going to do one model method. 1/4 of my columns need to be shaded, so I'm going to make 4 columns. I'm going to do my shading, so I'm going to pick this one this time. I'm going to make 4 congruent rows. I do that by drawing 3 lines. And I'm going to shade in this one. And by doing that, I see I have 1 overlap. Looks really dark in the camera. So I have 1 overlap. And it appears that I have 4, 8, 12, 16 total sections. My answer is 1/16. Again, I can check it. 1 times 1, 4 times 4. Good job. Yeah, I think I have time to do one more, so I'm going to move this up a little bit. Always pause if you need to. If you need to rewind a little bit and pause. Let's pick this one. No, let's pick this one. Change my mind. So let's do 2/3 times 1/3. If you need to pause and you want to try it yourself, please feel free. You're more than welcome to do that. I'm going to work them through because that's my job. I'm going to divide my columns into 3 equal ones, and I'm going to shade in 2/3. So I'm going to shade in 2 of these columns. This one's a little bigger, so there's a little more coloring to do. Do the same thing for my horizontal rows because that's what it tells me to do. 1 and 2. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to color one of those in. I'll do this one right here. What's my answer? 2. What's my denominator? You can't see the answer. I have to move it down a little bit. There you go. Very good. 2 over 9. 2 times 1, 3 times 3. Easy stuff. Practice makes perfect, guys. Try this, keep trying it, keep practicing it, and come ask questions. And I'll keep that last example for you if you come to remediation. Have a great day.